Well, guys, I get this question a lot. Somebody asked me, who is the statistical best quarterback in NFL history? I'm always going to go with Dan Marino because a lot of people don't understand. The only quarterback that could statistically keep up with him in passing yards or overall passing or just in general was Cam Newton. And Cam Newton's overall percentage, overall passing yards was about, 32,000 yards in his career, which Dan Marino had 62,000 yards passing. And you got to remember, Dan Marino only played 12 games back then. There was not 16 to 18 games. He played less games and had almost 62,000 yards passing. That is insane. Even though he didn't have a Super Bowl, right? He doesn't have a Super Bowl. He was on the wrong team, in my opinion. But if we're talking quarterback, if we're talking statistics, if we're talking like who was the GOAT of quarterbacks, Dan Marino by far is the best quarterback to ever exist in NFL history. There is nobody that will probably ever beat that record. Even with 16, 18, hell, you could put 24 games up there. Ain't nobody still going to beat it. The guy was the best passer in NFL history. You got players like Joe Montana, Steve Young, Troy Aikman, stuff like that. Cam Newton was the only one that came relatively even near it, and even passing for 32,000 yards, Cam Newton still was only half of that. So, Cam Newton won MVP. Now Cam Newton is probably the best quarterback from an overall standpoint when it comes to rushing. He had rushing touchdowns and passing touchdowns. Dan Marino did not have rushing touchdowns like that, but Cam Newton was a monster. But if we're talking the GOAT of GOATs of quarterbacks, it's Dan Marino by far. It's not a contest. It's not even a question about it. Statistics show it. That's like comparing Eminem to any rapper out there. Sales, statistics, everything shows it. So, to answer your question, yes, Dan Marino is the best quarterback in the NFL by far in NFL history. Will always be probably. I don't think anybody's going to break his record. When you got 62,000 yards passing in general in your time frame that you had with less games that you played, that's crazy. That's unheard of. So yeah, Dan Marino all day long, and I'm a Panthers fan.